Not sure how to put your bobbin into your sewing machine? Don't worry, inside this video, I'm gonna share with you a few simple steps so you can insert it into your machine like a pro. And if you stick with me till the very end of the video, I will share with you my best tip to go from threading your machine to actually wearing a piece of clothing you made. Now, before we get started, we have to know two things. One, did you know that there are actually 3 steps to threading any sewing machine? And inserting the bobbin is the third one. The first step is to make or wind the bobbin. The second is to thread the top of your machine. And the third is to insert the bobbin. So have you done the other 2 steps? If not, don't worry, I have how-to videos right here. You can watch those, do those steps first, and then come back. If you have already done them, yes, perfect, let's keep going. Number 2, we need to look at the needle plate. That's the area directly below the presser foot and the needle, okay? When we look here, if you see a plastic cover and you can see a bobbin in there or a place for a bobbin to go, you have a top load bobbin, okay? And if you look at the needle plate and you just see metal, there's no plastic cover, you can't see the bobbin, nothing's happening there, you have a front load bobbin, okay? Now, this video is going to be for a front load bobbin, but if you have a top load bobbin, don't worry, here's the video for you. Just click there now and you can watch it. Okay, now let's see how to insert a front load bobbin. The first thing we're going to do is remove the accessory storage. This is most commonly done by putting your hands on the front left corner of your machine and sliding to the left. Typically the accessory storage will come off like that, okay? Once that is removed, we're gonna put our finger on the left front of the machine right here, and we're going to gently pull forward, and this door will open. Now we can see where our bobbin lives. Now, don't let this area freak you out. What we're going to do is look at this circle in the middle. Do we see this rectangle that cuts right across that middle circle? Perfect. We're going to take our finger and put it on the left side of that rectangle, and we're going to pull forward. This whole chunk is locked inside of your sewing machine, and if you don't lift this little rectangle in the middle, it will stay locked in there. You will have no way to remove it. Okay, so by putting our finger here and pulling forward, we unlock it and we can pull the bobbin housing out of the sewing machine. Okay. Once it's removed, we need to look at the bobbin itself. Which direction is it going to be spinning? If I hold the bobbin this way, we can see that when I pull it, the bobbin is spinning counterclockwise. And when I turn it the other way, it is spinning clockwise. Which direction your bobbin spins makes a difference, okay? We have to check our manual and make sure we're putting this in the right way. So check your manual, figure out which way it goes. For my machine, it's like this. The bobbin should be moving clockwise. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it into the bobbin housing, and then we're going to pull the thread down through the only cutout that is there, okay? There's nowhere else for the thread to go. It has to go here. So we're going to pull it down, and we're going to pull it along this ridge, along the edge, okay? And we're going to pull it down. Now, this is a big part. Now, this is a big part that most beginners mess up, so don't do this. Don't make this mistake, okay? When we pull the thread down, it's really common for people to stop here. Can we see that there's like 2 arms hugging each side of the cutout, okay? And right now, the thread is under only one of those arms. This is bad. It's going to give you bad stitches, bad tension, not going to be a good time. So what we need to do is keep pulling down until the thread pops and it is equally between those 2 arms. Okay? I call this sharing is caring, and it is super duper important. If you don't do sharing is caring, if you don't make it to this point, you're going to have bad stitches. Now, it is really important at this point that we check the tension on the bobbin. Now, I'm just going to do a quick overview of this. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but basically when we hold the tail and we hold the outside of the bobbin and we pull, it's kind of hard, or it should be kind of hard to pull that thread out. That's the bobbin tension. But we need to make sure it's right. We don't want it too tight, we don't want it too loose. So the way that we check this is by holding the tail and holding the bobbin straight down like a yo-yo. Now, if you find that when you hold the tail, the bobbin falls to the floor, your tension is way too loose. So if we look at the side of the bobbin housing, we can see this little screw here. You're just going to turn this a little bit, like an eighth of a circle, if you cut the circle into eighths, or a quarter of a turn this way, clockwise. So that way we make it tighter, okay, because it's too loose right now. Now, if you hold it and it doesn't fall to the ground, great, that's a good start. But what if it's too tight? How will we know? We know by taking the bobbin and making a flicking motion with our wrist, okay? Now this takes a little bit of practice. It's really common for the bobbin to fall out and fall on the floor. If that happens, don't worry, it happens to me all the time still. But what we're looking for is that when we make this flicking motion, that the bobbin moves down the thread somewhere between 3 to 7 centimeters or 2 to 3 inches. Okay, so if it moves down the thread a little bit, perfect. Your tension is amazing and we're ready to start putting the bobbin back into the machine. Okay, if it's not quite perfect, then you're going to adjust that screw. So for example, we do this flicking motion, it doesn't move at all. The tension is too tight. So we're going to look at the same screw and we're going to turn it counterclockwise. We're going to loosen it an eighth of a turn or a quarter of a turn. Okay, so we're going to do that until we have the right tension. Once the tension is right, we're going to look at this hole in the middle of our bobbin. That is going to go onto the post in the middle of our sewing machine right here. Okay, so we put it on there and we can see that the bobbin is spinning. Not right. What we want to do is line up this arm that's on the bobbin with the notch at the top of the ring inside of our sewing machine. Okay, line those up and then push the bobbin into your machine. You're going to push harder than you expect. At some point you should hear a click. And once it clicks in, you will see that the bobbin is no longer spinning. It's stuck in your machine in that point because of the arm is holding it. Okay? Perfect. Your bobbin is in your machine, but we still have a couple more steps, okay? Because our bobbin thread is down here, down in the bobbin housing still, and we need to bring it up and above the needle plate. To do this, we're gonna play lassos, like we're cowgirls or cowboys, okay? So we're going to use our top thread as if it were a lasso, which means we need to hold it, okay? We're gonna hold the lasso straight out from the needle, okay? Once you are holding your lasso, holding it in your hand, hold it tight, we are going to put our other hand on the hand wheel and we're going to turn towards us. One full turn, so the needle goes all the way down and comes all the way back up again. As I do this, you will see the thread, the lasso that I'm holding, comes down and makes a loop around the entire bobbin housing. Okay, that's actually how your sewing machine works. But if we keep holding that lasso, we keep holding it tight, as the needle comes back up, we will see that the lasso comes up with the needle, and now it has this loop that comes over it. Okay, that loop is our bobbin thread. So we're going to grab it, that U shape, the rainbow, we're going to grab that and pull up until our bobbin thread is totally above the needle plate. Now, if you do lassos and you bring the needle all the way down back up and you don't have the bobbin thread, you didn't catch anything, just try again, okay? Keep trying until you catch it. This is the way it's done. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, once we have both threads above the needle plate, we are almost there. We are going to close this door. We're going to put the accessory storage back on. And the last step is to make sandwiches. And this is a really important step. Most beginners miss this. And if you've ever had your machine unthread itself and you're like, what the heck happened? I just had it threaded. This is probably what caused it. You probably didn't make sandwiches. So now that we have both of our threads above the needle plate, we need to take those threads and we need to put them below the presser foot. Okay, so the sandwich that we're trying to create, the top piece of bread is going to be the presser foot, the bottom piece of bread is going to be the needle plate, and the two threads and the fabric that you're sewing will be the filling. And then we're going to pull these tails to the back of the sewing machine. Okay, now that you have made sandwiches, your machine is not going to magically, randomly unthread itself when you start sewing. Okay? Oh, I'm so excited. How was inserting the bobbin on your front load sewing machine? Did it go well? I hope the answer is yes. If yes, be sure to like the video below. If you have questions, if you get stuck, please let me know below the video. I'd love to answer any questions you have. And if you are brand new to sewing, you just started your sewing machine, and you really want to make clothes, but you're not sure how to get started, I have a secret for you. Getting started on your own can feel really daunting. What do I learn next? Who do I ask questions to? What should I make? I have gone through and made this super easy for you, okay? I put together a class I wish I had had when I got started sewing. It's everything to go from unboxing your machine, threading it, troubleshooting it, using it like a pro, and making your first piece of DIY clothing. So if that would help you, you can learn more or join the class down in the comments. And finally, before you jump into sewing your first project, make sure you watch this video. It is the 3 biggest mistakes most beginners make that stop them from making anything they like. And this can stop them for weeks, months, and sometimes even years. So make sure you watch this to make sure you don't make any of these mistakes, because you want to start sewing things now, right? Okay, until the next one, happy sewing!